You're not going to believe this. New Mexico has just become the first state in the country to start universal childcare. I kid you not. This is a shout out to New Mexico. I want to share this with you guys and then let you know, once again, this goes to show you that the fight is in the states. I know sometimes like we get disappointed because we've been advocating for things and none of these things are happening on the national level. Like they're not passing in Congress, or Congress doesn't even introduce bills for these types of issues. But what I have seen in particular over the years is that a lot of these policies are winning in the states. Let's go ahead and get into New Mexico. Let's see how they do what they do.
And it all kicked off this weekend, New Mexico officially becoming the first state to offer completely free childcare to every single family there. Now,
let's go back a little bit here. They had this ad here. I don't know why, but here we go.
This is a first in the country, and it all kicked off this weekend, New Mexico officially becoming the first state to offer completely free childcare to every single family there. Now, this is a move that the state's governor, Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham, says will save families about $12,000 per child every single year. She's also saying it will boost the state's economy and childhood well-being. Now, the state already did offer free childcare, but it was to families below a certain income level. But now that restriction is gone and families can start applying right away. And as you said, while New Mexico may be the first state here to do that.
I just want to pause here because I do want to show you this part right here so you can see how this is done. Okay. So before it was income based. So as of now, because it's November, New Mexico just started this. So this is the first state in the country to have universal childcare. I hope more commentators cover this story because it shows you that it is possible to do. Pay attention to what New Mexico did. It says here that it is funded by the state oil and gas revenue. And of course, there's no income limit, right? So you don't means test it. This is what I was saying before about means testing these damn policies. So they are taking that revenue from the oil and gas, and they are using that to provide the universal childcare. Now, here's the thing. You can also do this by taxing the millionaires, what they're supposed to be taxed, by taxing the wealthy. We've done that here in Massachusetts. All these people said they were going to leave when we passed the millionaire wealth tax. They're still here. So don't buy into that. I'm hearing this with New York City and Zoran as well. Like rich people are just like, I'm fleeing and running to Florida if Zoran Mandami wins because I want to keep all my money and my wealth to myself. And I don't want the working class people here to have anything. Okay. So there are over 200,000 millionaires in Manhattan alone. I'm not sure how many billionaires, but we know Bill Ackman is one of them that lives there. So don't buy into that, guys. That's fear mongering. But the thing is that this can be done through the states. It can happen through the states. This is why I talked about the ballot measures. This is why I told you the federal level out at the end should not be the only focus. We need to focus more on what we can do in the states. That's our best chance of getting some of these policies passed. How do I know? We passed things like that here in Massachusetts. We legalized cannabis. It was a ballot measure. We voted for it. The $15 minimum wage, we passed that years ago. While people are still out here talking about $15 minimum wage on the federal level, that was passed years ago in Massachusetts. We have even seen red states like South Dakota. South Dakota, they expanded Medicaid. Nebraska also increased the minimum wage. We can't continue to allow corporate media to convince you that this is a far left issue when these things are passing in red states. It turns out that when you take people away from a party and you just put a question on the ballot, people actually just answer that damn question. And they're not thinking about, oh, it's attached to this politician. So you are seeing more things happen in the states on the local level than we are seeing happen on the federal level when it comes to some of these policies. If you support like some of those progressive policies, Look at the states. That's your best chance. That doesn't mean give up the fight on the federal level, but what that means is in the meantime, look at the states. I think that's a good, push for people. So this is good news. And New Mexico was showing you that this can be done.
First state here to do this. It just might not be the last. Other states are kickstarting similar programs. Take Connecticut, for example. They recently passed a bill to give free childcare to families making under $100,000. And right here in New York City, Zoran Mamdani has promised free childcare for all as part of his campaign for mayor, drawing national attention.
There you go. There you go. So this has started in New Mexico now that it is November. And so who is driving this bus? The people. The people, not the billionaires. The billionaires don't push this. This is the people who are driving this bus. A lot of people may want to move to New Mexico now, but I'm just saying, this is the people. And I want to show you just how much it costs. Like in particular here in Massachusetts, this is a breakdown for 2025, how much it costs for childcare, like in Massachusetts. If we were to look at the cities, right? Because this is where most of us live here. In Boston, you are looking at, this is insane. This is insane. For monthly infant care, you're looking at $2,947 a month. I'm trying to make it bigger for you guys so you can see. Can everybody see? Okay, there we go. Right here. You're looking at $2,947 a month for one baby. One. In Cambridge, over $3,000 a month. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Worcester, and Worcester is a more affordable part of the state. That's central Massachusetts. $2,868 a month in Worcester. Springfield, that's Western Mass, $2,562 a month. Lowell, $2,854 a month. Lowell, that is the Merrimack Valley area. So what I am showing you is this. If you have more than one child, let's say you have a 3-year-old and you have a baby, double that. Let's say you have twins, double that. And I don't know anybody that can afford to pay $6,000 a month for childcare. That's why one of the reasons why people aren't having kids. This is so expensive and we have to work. Gone are the days where you could stay at home. When I was a kid, my mom stayed home with me until I went to kindergarten and then she went back to work. I don't know anyone that can do that now. None of my friends can do that. One of my friends tried to do that and she had to go back to work. It didn't work out. That's the world we live in. And then when you look at the childcare costs, this is insane. $2,947 a month for one child. That's the problem. Now, in some other countries, they don't have this issue. In some other countries, they have, where the mother is allowed to have paid maternity leave for 9 months after she has the baby. They don't need to look for childcare at that point. We don't have that here. So this has become a big one. And like I said, people want people to have babies. They want you to continue to have kids, but then they don't want you to pay for it. Who's going to pay for these kids? It's a shocking sticker. It's a shocking sticker. I found out when a friend of mine was having twins. That's how I found out about this. So I'm super excited for New Mexico. And I don't know, man, if you, and that's another thing. If you want people to have kids, you want Gen Z and like younger generations, if you want them to have families and have kids, childcare has to be affordable, and it's not. Now, I was lucky. I was lucky that my mom was able to stay home with me until I went to school. But that was a long time ago. What happened to that? What happened to that society where one parent could work and the other one could stay home with the kids? And then let's talk about how this affects the family dynamic. And I brought this up before. If both people have to work and you have childcare, then one of you has to pick up the kid from the daycare after work. Don't be late, because then you have to pay a late fee. Found that out from a coworker. Then you got to rush home and you have to make dinner. What time is it? After traffic, after you've picked up your child from daycare, and then you get home and you have to make dinner, what time is it? Is it 6? Is it 6:30? Is it 7 o'clock? Is it 8? What time is it? Then you have to eat, put the kid to sleep, and then maybe you have time to watch one show, maybe not, and then you have to go to sleep. Then you have to get up early the next day to get ready to do this all over again. So when people ask, why has the family dynamic changed? That's why. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.